When we're trying to figure out if you qualify to have a case sealed or expunged, we're really going to delve into two separate questions. The first question, we've got to know whether you have any prior convictions on your record. And those convictions can even creep up from a juvenile record, doesn't have to be adult. If you have a conviction in your past, you cannot seal or expunge your current record, whatever it is you want to seal or expunge. You can push stop on this video and go do something else. But your prior criminal history doesn't have to be squeaky clean, right? This doesn't have to be a first offense that you want to seal or expunge. What it has to be is a situation where you've never been found guilty of a case. And what I mean by that is a lot of people have been arrested of various charges, and they've either had those cases dropped or they've received withholds of adjudication. A withhold of adjudication is a fancy way of saying, I entered a plea, but I was never convicted of the crime. They withheld adjudication. If that's the case, you qualify. Great. You can move on to question number 2. What about the case now that you want to seal or expunge? What happened to the case that you want to seal or expunge? So I've got some options for you. If what happened is that the charge was dismissed, great news. We can expunge that record because it was dropped. If you pled to it, if the judge withheld adjudication when you pled to that, then you probably qualify to have the case sealed because you received a withhold. You were never convicted of it. So let's say you entered a plea on a shoplifting, a petty theft, or a shoplifting grand theft. That withhold saves the day and we can erase that charge. But that very same withhold on a misdemeanor domestic violence case, for example, that will not help us out. Yes, you were not convicted of battery domestic violence, but no, you cannot seal or expunge it. That charge and many others, stalking, all sorts of other charges, are exempt. You cannot seal or expunge a record even though you were not convicted of it. It's not fair, but it is the law. So there are lots of nuances on these cases. I've given you a general overview of the two major questions we're going to want to ask you, and there are more, but armed with this knowledge, hopefully you can move forward to seal or expunge your case. I recommend that you do. It is well worth doing. I wish you luck.